my YouTube channel. I've been meaning to do this for like a few hundred years, and we have finally gotten around to it. Yay! Maybe at some point I'll be super awesome with graphics and we'll have like fireworks and all kinds of things shooting off, but right now we're basic, all right? So this is my first video for YouTube, and this is my YouTube channel, like I said. My name is Cece. You can see it kind of up here on my board. I wear it on my chest so that I don't forget my name, and I am the owner of Cece Designs in Birmingham, Alabama. I am a floral and special event designer. I like to do all the things. I say I go where the blooms take me. I love to do weddings, special events, but I'm also a teacher and an educator. So now that I've kind of told you a little bit about me, let me tell you about why I'm here today. So I'm kind of known as the queen of Facebook Live. I love to come on, act crazy, you know, do all the things. But now I've decided to transition some of that over to YouTube. So you can always catch me over on Facebook at Live with Cece, because that's where I do my lives. And I'm not gonna lie, I love me some YouTube, but I do love the interaction. But here is where I'm going to put my more mainstream and basically broke down videos for the masses. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also pay attention to where you can find me on all of my other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, all the things at Cece Designs LLC. So let's get started. So what I am doing today is what we lovingly refer to as a Cece bouquet around here. If you notice, I've got on these snazzy pink gloves. If you don't know anything about me, I am the lover of all things pink. I always have a flower in my hair. I should have warned you to cut the volume down, and I am extra all day long. Well, one of the cool things about us starting today is, just in case this is like years from now, we're in the middle of the coronavirus. So what do we got? Lots of extra times and lots of germs everywhere. So I don't normally design with gloves on, but we thought that this would be a good extra precaution while we're all locked into our houses right now, doing some serious self-quarantine. So I am taking the time to do a little bit of teaching, but I did want to make sure that I had pink gloves on. So we're ready to go, people. All right, so what I wanted to teach you today, like I said, it's called the Cece bouquet. This is kind of something I am known for in the wedding and event industry. I am going to do my best, because even though I technically said that we're on quarantine because of the coronavirus, I am creating this bouquet for a secret styled shoot that I'm going to be doing with a friend of mine that's a photographer. So because of the style that she wanted, it's not going to be as big as the way I like to make them. I am literally like a baby got back girl when it comes to bouquet. Like, I like big bouquets. Now, I will tell you that they are starting to pull them back just a little bit. They're getting a little bit smaller. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna be okay with that. But for me, I just wanted to bring a little bit of joy into these gloomy days while we're all locked into our house and create a bouquet. And this is probably gonna be a tidge smaller than the way I normally do. And just watch, it's gonna be massive and y'all are gonna be like, seriously? That's a small one. So one of the things that I love to start with, I don't even remember where I learned this, because like I said, I've been doing this a hot minute. This is probably my 20-something year doing flowers. See how I did that? Because there's no need for you to know what my age is. And with doing flowers, especially in doing them in the wedding industry, trends change. There's always a new way of doing things, fun things, all the things. But one of the things that have always been a staple in the floral industry is the use of chicken wire. So I have kind of morphed into using this plastic chicken wire. I am gonna just go ahead and say I think I was one of the first ones to do it, but don't tell anybody. So this is what I use. It's kind of called an armature, and this is what I use for some of my artistic bouquets, some that I literally want to get a little bit more airy, a little bit more on the flouncy side, if you understand what I'm saying. So what I do first is I take a little bit of piece of the plastic chicken wire and I take a piece of floral wire and just attach it to a folded over piece. Basically, we're making a little baby burrito, okay? That's what this is. This is a burrito of the chicken wire, the plastic chicken wire. So this is what it looks like. Hello. And we add the wire to it. Why is the wire added to it, you say? Because I can hear you over there in Nowhere Land asking about that, because that's going to help us get an extra good grip on this, all right? So, first things first, what I always like to start with is my greenery. So, we have some pennycress. We have some salal, or lemon leaf. We have our phantasmic seeded eucalyptus. And then we have our ruscus, which is Italian, ole, not to be confused with the Israeli ruscus. And that's our greenery that we're going to be using today. So one of the first things I do when I start my bouquet is to kind of get a shape going. The way that I do that is I use greenery. So I've got my little burrito folded over here. And I will give you like a little tidbit of advice. The bigger you make your burrito, the bigger your bouquet will be. So a lot of times I will cut this down just to make sure that this doesn't get a little too wild and crazy. So we're gonna cut probably about 1/2 inch off, okay? Just to make this just a little bit more narrow. I think that'll work good for us. All right, make sure you have good tools out if you're gonna start working on a bouquet. I've got good snippers that cut very well, and I have my trusty knife. All pink, shocking, right? All right, so one of the first things I do when I start the bouquet is I create the shape. I've already taken some moments off camera to strip down my greenery to where it does not have a ton of greenery down on the bottom part of the stem. So first things first, I just kind of start creating some really pretty lines. The cool thing about the chicken wire, I'll just go ahead and tell y'all, is it enables you to hold the greenery at a slanted angle, all right? So that's what I'm doing, is I'm getting it in and kind of creating a crisscross network, all right? Same thing, I'm gonna go through right here and kind of let that lay down. What that's doing right now is creating my shape, all right? So this is going to kind of give me little guidelines to work with. And the cool thing about this is sometimes if it's being stubborn like this one is, you can even weave it through. Y'all see how I did that little fanciness? Y'all see how I did that? And made that literally lay down a little bit more. So I did that on the front, on both the sides, and straight through the center. Another thing that I like to do is kind of double up on one of the sides, okay? And one of the things you'll hear me talk about is I really love to read my greenery. I love watching it, the way that it flows, and I try to use it to the best of its ability. I kind of don't want to force it to go against the grain. And then this, I'm going to kind of come in right here, more towards the front of the bouquet. So the way I'll be designing the bouquet today is you will be seeing the back while I'll be facing the front. One of the things I like to do straight out of the gate is get a couple of pieces really close in so that I can help cover up the chicken wire, okay? And the way that I kind of refer to that is I feel like that's the panties of the arrangement. Most people that follow me or know me already in the floral industry, they know me as the girl that tells you to cover your panties while you're doing floral design. So what I've done here is kind of the framework. This tells me kind of how wide it's going to be, how much room it's going to take up, all the things. This is our seeded eucalyptus. And I'm going to just kind of fidget that kind of in through the center to help cover that. And then I'm going to come over here and do the same exact thing. So I'm going to put these couple of pieces right here in the back so that I am completing what I said earlier, which is creating greenery and flowers coming out at all different angles. So you want to make sure that it's not just all front and leaning this way, that you do have some of it coming off of the back also. because this is a bride's bouquet. She's gonna be the one looking at it. So we need to make sure she has something pretty to look at. Next, what I do is I take these fantastic hydrangeas and I destroy them. Yep, that's what I do. I destroy them. So what I'm doing is I am taking, because they're so massive, I'm taking a few of the tendrils off so that I can get them in and it doesn't look like this massive mound of hydrangeas, okay? So what that does is when I break that up, that allows for me to not have just this giant ball that detracts from everybody's eyesight to where that's all they see is this massive mound of hydrangea. So let me add this snazzy greenery back in that I had in and kind of had to get out of the way. All right, so now we have that. And as you can see, a lot of times when I'm designing, things will kind of take on a life of their own, decide to go the way I did not allow them to go. They get very ornery and try to do their own thing. So a lot of times you have to come back and circle back around and get them in place. All right, next, we're gonna use this fantabulous stuff called pennycress. Now, one of the things I try not to do is get too carried away with the greenery. I have a tendency to do that sometimes. I don't want this to be like, oh, ye greenery bouquet, all right? I definitely want it to have a nod of greenery, a little touch of greenery, but I don't want it to smother the bouquet. So I'm just gonna put those little bitty pieces. So I kind of feel like we're greenery done. So next, we're going to start adding some roses. So we have these beautiful spray roses, all right? We have the pink ones. We have the white Majalicas. We have these these pink mundials. Love the way they say that. It's mundial. You have to say it just like that. It's mundial. All right. We have a mother of pearls. And I've already reflexed all these. That's what's really amazing about that. Then we have quicksands. All right. So one of the things I'm going to do is start off kind of creating some fun lines. So we've got a few of my stock in here, and I really love the lines. Look at that. And I always tell people, this is how you know you're not strangling your bouquet, all right? It has to have movement. It has to bounce. This is what you want it to do. You want it to bounce. You want it to have movement, all right? So I've got that in there. I'm going to take this snazzy piece of seeded eucalyptus kind of right in the front, all right? Make sure that little hydrangea is holding a good spot right there. And now I'm going to add a few of my spray roses. Aren't these beautiful? So I get all of my flowers flown in direct. I love ordering direct. You can go get any of these flowers probably at your local wholesale house, but if you are a floral designer and you are following this video, one of the things that I would love to show you is how amazing it is to order direct. So that is what I love to do. I order from companies like ACA, Hilverda de Bora, and then also Jet Fresh. These are some of my favorite distributors to order the freshest, most beautiful product from. And what that means is that these beauties were pretty much cut straight off of the stem probably yesterday and packaged up and then sent to me, and it is literally the freshest of the fresh. So one of the things I love to do is work in threes. I mean, I say that like I invented it. It's a thing. You should be working in threes. A lot of times I tell people it's to go ahead and take away your natural inclination to make eyeballs. Most people love to do things in pairs, and then they just wind up looking like little eyeballs. Eyeballs are not good in floral design. The bride does not want a bouquet that looks like it's staring at her. That's a little creepy. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just creepy. Next, we're gonna do these gorgeous pink mandala. of the things I like to do at this point is kind of stop, get all these out of my way. All right, just want to go through, kind of clip them down, get them out of your way so you can have a little bit more room to work. All right, there we go. Now, we have these stunning, I am not even playing with y'all, spray roses that are called Sahara Sensation. So what we're gonna use now is this beautiful Lysianthus. We have two varieties. We have like a ruffle Lysianthus, both of them are pink. And then we have a delicate, beautiful Lysianthus. Now at home, I'm telling you, this is all you need. It's just this one little training and y'all are ready to do this, right? So at this point, usually this is when I have conversations with myself about constantly forgetting the back and still not continuing to be better about it. So I will completely turn the bouquet around. So one of the fun things is now y'all get to stare at the front instead of staring at the back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to really kind of focus on creating a little bit of excitement back here in the back. A lot of these, I love to really press them down far into the bouquet, and that does this little fancy thing I lovingly refer to as ground cover. Just taking advantage of where do I see some holes, where are some places that I need a little extra pop of green. So I see a little hole right here that I want to cover up. We have these gorgeous peachy colored ranunculus. I love the lines on ranunculus. But one of the things you have to be careful about when you're using ranunculus is that it is a very dainty, delicate stem. So a lot of times I have to put it in right exactly at the perfect place to where there's a hardier stem that will hold it up. So we've got a couple of ranunculus in. Now I'm going to add stilby. So this is technically what we call a filler flower. I like to save my stilby or whatever filler I'm using till the end. So let's take this one more time. Don't judge. Don't forget, I said you could always come and check me out designing over in Live with CC, which is my Facebook group, to where you can actually interact with me. So I get asked all the time, CC, how long does it take you to make a bouquet? It usually takes me about an hour. So that's fun when you're trying to condense this down for YouTube, okay? Because Lord knows y'all be long gone if it took an hour. So there's probably some point where this is gonna have sped up or it will speed up just because, you know, we want to hurry up and get to the good part, which is the end. want you to notice is see how I am just going over the same part every single time. See right there? I'm not taping the whole section down. This is a garden and gathered bouquet. So you want it to have like some exciting kind of fluff to it. You don't want it to not show the raw edges, because that is literally kind of one of the main identifying features for a garden and gathered style bouquet is the raw stems showing. So now what I do at this point is I take my bouquet, flip it upside down. Yes, yes, yes. And this is where I am going to do a good, clean, all the way across cut, all right? Look at this movement, all right? So what do y'all think? This is a CC bouquet all day long, people. I love the movement. I love how the bride will hold it and carry it. She has something beautiful to look at back here in the back. And then last but not least, we're gonna take it, we're gonna lay it down, and we have this beautiful, one of the things we love here in the wedding industry is this beautiful raw silk ribbon. Cut these strings off, but what I do to make sure that this bind stays is I take a pearl tip pin, all right, and right up here where we have tied the bow, I will take the pearl tip pin and go straight into the bouquet. I usually do it at an upward angle. Yet again, we don't like for brides to bleed. All right, and then that really securely knots the bow, all right? And then like I said, we're gonna take some scissors and cut these into clean little pieces, but look at that, guys. I mean, just beautiful. So there you go. There is a CC Designs Garden and Gathered Style Bouquet, all right? Very first tutorial for YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed it. I constantly teach in some form or fashion. I will be back. So I'll be back. So make sure you hit the notifications. You definitely want to know when I drop a new video. And you want to come over and follow me at CC Designs LLC on either Instagram or Facebook. And you want to check out my private group where I am teaching every day during the coronavirus. We're going to laugh at this in 20 years, people. And that is over at Live with CC. So I'll see you later. Thanks, guys.